to even the smallest of its creatures. We cannot, but we have potentialities of being creative when we are born from so great a creator. If we are not happy now, we will never be. We can no longer lose in life once we have gained the ability to see the greatness in God. In war, we do not eat whom we kill, lest it should be considered barbarous. It is better to be harmless than helpful. When God has given us sight to see His greatness, surely He must have also given us a mind to understand it. Sight helps us to realize the existence of God, but only the mind can help us to find Him. Deep down below the jumble of our minds, there is something which knows and which can reveal much knowledge and wisdom. We are in big society, following different paths of life and connected with different religions. When we accept society, we commit ourselves to a ridiculous way of life. The greatest achievement of all is conquest of self. For every human being, that should be the goal, and that is the only great achievement. Strange that our basic instincts should be the same as those of other living creatures. Can the thoughts and philosophy of a person go beyond his pursuits? My dear brothers, to love the Creator, we must first love His creation. Man, in his glamour and glory, forgets the glamour and glory of God. One thing unique about wisdom: it cannot be inherited, but must be acquired. Man's success should not be judged by the wealth of his possession, what he has, but to the extent whether he is at peace with himself. The success of our achievement depends on the intensity of our desire. Wisdom lies in its choice. As far as the soul within us, in everybody we have soul. The energy which understands and speaks, and whichever her vice and virtue are understood, it is the soul. So as far as the soul is concerned, it understands only the language of feeling. Each unfortunate event in life should be considered as a lesson for the development of our minds. Our attitudes govern our destiny. Therefore, the happiness that we enjoyed in childhood was due to our state of mind, not due to any external factor. We must realize that we have become victims of our own values. In everybody among us, one of the chief vices which could destroy the intellect is the vice of anger. Therefore, a person desirous of remaining a true human being must conquer anger in all possible ways. Anger is an acid that does more harm to the vessel in which it is stored than to the person on whom it is poured. The whole nervous system in our body is shattered by an outburst of anger, and various poisons are thrown into the blood when one is angry. That's why it is absolutely necessary for a person to conquer anger. From anger, delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost. And when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool. Hence, anger has to be controlled. the best tool to conquer anger is forgiveness. It is said that by remembering an injury or insult done to us and not by forgiving the wrongdoers, we keep our wounds ever green. Hence, the best remedy in the interest of our own spiritual, mental and physical health is to forgive the wrongdoers. There are only two things which concern us, mind and matter. Our conscience is the best guru. Only our feelings can bring about self-realization. We should be guided by our feelings, not by our thoughts. The richness of life comes with feelings. That which cannot be seen, it can be felt. The greatest pilgrimage is the journey of ours is inward. By looking inward, we can travel to any part of the universe. The inward journey begins from the time we start to observe our mind, body and behavior. Love is the common language of all our creatures. Only our ignorance prevents us from experiencing the love. It is love which permeates the atmosphere, world and universe. We cannot experience love without a feeling of oneness. We should try to convert our adversities into opportunities. We have the intelligence to make weapons, but not the wisdom to refrain from using them. Some nations for which people have fought and died no longer exist. Only those who identify with you are close. All others are strangers, even though they may be related. The younger generation are merely repeating our mistakes. Ceremonious blessings can never be effective as we are responsible for our own deeds, acts and behavior. Our motives determine our destiny. Our selfish motives eventually lead us to misery and destruction, whereas our unselfish motives eventually lead us to bliss and immortality. Brothers, the present age is extremely difficult to live in. The teaching of self-restraint can be effective. First self-control and then discipline. The walls of casteism and communalism divide the people. To make such walls transparent, we should realize and make a slogan. Man is first a man, then he is a Hindu or a Muslim. In short, we should realize that we are all one. Problems are multiplying. They prop up in ever new forms. The problems would not be solved as long as the prevalent trends of our age do not change their course. Therefore, the trend would change by observing only each individual self-restraint. It should be truly a historical day for mankind when religion and science complement each other. That would be the day when devotion to self-restraint would have served its purpose and it would be possible to train man to lead a proper life. வாய்ப்பினை கொடுத்த இந்த இஸ்லாமிக் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் சென்டர் அவர்களுக்கு பணிவுடன் நன்றி கூறி என்னுடைய உரையை முடித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
In the name of Allah, the kindest and the most merciful one, the dignitaries seated in the dais, the dignitaries seated in the audience, ladies and gentlemen, at the outset I should thank Madam Fatima Muzaffar, Janab Muzaffar Ahmed, my brother Janab Hakim, for giving me this opportunity to address the elite audience. I feel very humble in front of great scholars like Richard Haynes, Chordia, and the erudite scholar Dr. Zakir Naik, from whom you are going to listen about the terrorism and jihad. Terrorism is an aberration in the human behavior. Terrorist, whether it is Hindu fundamentalist, or it is Christian terrorist, or it is Muslim terrorist, they have abnormal brain. They have delusion and illusion. And the way in which the terrorism has to be tackled is, these people have to be counseled by the fellow human beings. And the administrators have to find out what exactly is the root cause of the terrorism and see that the root cause is completely eliminated.